Welcome back to Legion Field. You're listening to Fort Morgan football, brought to you by Platte Valley Hearing Center at 417 Main Street in Fort Morgan, getting your hearing to its very best. Brush ahead 15-6. As there's a fresh 12 minutes, the teams have switched ends. Brush now attacking, going left to right on your radio dial. Eric Garcia now under center for Brush. A long snap count. He will keep the football himself after a couple fakes. He is hit hard for no gain.
That was a nice gang tackle by Fort Morgan. Well, I hope Tormolen's not hurt.
It would be a shame to see him go down. Maybe he's just grabbing some rest after the long run that he had, and he does check back into the football game. The ball resting at the 23-yard line for Fort Morgan. Tormolen again under center. 3 wide to the near side. He'll hand the ball off. And again, Fort Morgan up to the task, containing inside the tackles with the rushing game for Brush. That will bring up 4th down. And, you know, in high school, it's very difficult to tell the range of your kicker. Looking at this right now, it would be about a 40-yard attempt.
Looks like they're going to go for it.
And it will be probably the safer decision. If you miss that field goal, it could change a lot of things. You give yourself a shot to get the first down here. Tormolen under center with this 4th down play. He'll drop back to pass. Looks for his man open down the middle of the field. There he has Vince Albo, and he is into the end zone. Albo with his 2nd touchdown pass of the game. We'll call that a 23-yard touchdown pass from Tormolen.
Those are some pretty good stats for Tormolen. 3 completes, no incompletes, and 2 of them for touchdowns.
On a 4th down play, no less. 4th and 8 from the 23-yard line. You can bet that Fort Morgan wasn't really expecting a pass there, but on a 4th and 8, you almost have to be. Brush will set up for the PAT. On to kick, Logan Nestor. There's a bad snap, and Garcia has to scramble as he is the holder, and he's not going to get anything. So 2 missed or botched PATs now for Brush. Hopefully that won't come back to bite them at the end of the football game. But as it stands right now, 21-6 with 10:22 in the second quarter, Brush leads Fort Morgan. You're listening to Fort Morgan football here on B106 and B106.com. A 10-play drive by Brush there, resulting in a touchdown as Tormolen finds Vince Albo, who scrambles his way into the end zone, makes this game 21-6 in favor of Brush.
If Fort Morgan can march down and put another one in, it'll be a ball game.
Still plenty of time left, 10:22, as Brush gets ready to kick it away here. A low line drive kick handled by one of the upmen for Fort Morgan. He really has nowhere to go as the Brush kickoff team right there by the time he gets the football. I believe that was Jared Bohm who picks it up. Bohm with the touchdown for Fort Morgan in this game. Martins will come in at quarterback.
Looks like maybe that's Fort Morgan's best starting position of the night.
Yeah, they'll start this drive from their own 43-yard line. Martins under center, a trio of running backs behind him. Martins gets the ball. He'll keep it himself, looking for an option play. He's got Fitzsimmons out wide. Smart hangs on to the ball as he was in the grasp of Eric Garcia of Brush. He'll lose a couple yards there, but it could have been a lot worse if he decides to pitch that football on the option. A heads-up play that time.
Anytime you run the option football offense, you always have to worry about those decisions that the quarterback makes. He made a good one there.
He gets a loss of 2 on that, but like we said, it could have been a lot worse had he decided to pitch that football. Again under center. He'll turn and hand the ball off. Does Martins. Matt Godo getting the carry. He turns up through the middle of the line for a gain of about 4. I'll make that 3. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
Hear the train engine in the background. You know you're in Fort Morgan when you hear the trains going through the football stadium.
That is true. That train track just to the north of the field here. Martins again under center. He'll turn and hand the ball off to Fitzsimmons. Fitzsimmons has a little bit of room off of the left side, but not much as Brush is able to get there and make the tackle. That's Connor Weiser again making his presence known on the defensive side there with the tackle.
You mentioned earlier Brush having players on both sides. In 2A, that's really a fact of reality that you don't have enough kids to go platoon one side.
That is, Fort Morgan will be on to attempt their second punt. The snap better this time, still high. But a great punt that's gotten away there, and I believe this ball will roll into the end zone. Tony Zwetzig there on the punt. He sends it for a touchback. Oh, Brush marching on the few players that aren't on the field during the defensive spots. Fort Morgan's defense looking to get ready to go back to work as they were on the field for a long time. A 10-play drive the last time out for Brush, resulting in that touchdown. Tormolin hands a trap underneath. Chugging his way through the line there for Brush. I think that was Randy Baker there. Good enough for a first down. Again, Tormolin under center. Tormolin turns and hands the ball off. This time through the left side of the line.
I think that was Weiser up the middle.
Weiser again with the carry. It's starting to get difficult to tell the numbers with these lights hitting the white jerseys of Brush, as they're wearing a white top off of a maroon helmet with maroon numerals on it and white pants. Very difficult to see their uniform numbers on that far hash, which they are. 2nd down and 5 now. Tormolin turns, gives the ball to Weiser. Weiser with a second effort is able to get some more yards, and there he goes. He's down to the 40. And there he is, dragged down to the 30. A great individual second effort there by Weiser for Brush. Down to the 30 of Fort Morgan. .709 and counting on the clock here in the second quarter. 21-6, Brush leads.
He met some initial resistance there up the middle and bounced it outside for a really nice run.
Tormolin breaks the huddle for Brush. He'll go under center again. We have a flag here, possibly for a delay of game. That's what the back judge is looking like he's sending to the referee, and that is what the call is. A delay of game on Brush.
The Brush coaches are asking the officials why the back judge isn't waving the arm, a new thing in high school football a couple years ago, to signal the quarterback that time is getting short.
I wasn't necessarily looking at the back judge that time, but I don't think that he did wave his arm there. Now we have another whistle. It looks like a timeout will be taken by Brush. So Brush takes a timeout. We'll step aside as well. 21-6, Brush leads over Fort Morgan. 6:29 remaining in the second quarter. You're listening to Fort Morgan football here on B106 and B106.com. Welcome back into Legion Field. Alex Egan alongside Kevin Rohde. Here for the first game of the 2011 football season, Fort Morgan hosting Brush. Brush being not too kind of guests as they've come in here and taken charge, up 21-6. Brush with the football at the Fort Morgan 36-yard line. Tormolin takes the snap. He'll drop back to pass. Now he flushes from the pocket, and he's got room to run out of the left side. He will be brought down there. Call it the 25-yard line. Jared Bohm credited with the tackle. Far side, 25-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 5. Or excuse me, 2nd and 3. Tormolin again breaks the huddle. He's got Aldo wide to his right. He'll turn and hand the ball off to Garcia, who dances through the middle of the line and picks up a first down there. He'll be brought down at the 17 of Fort Morgan territory. Another first down for Brush. Brush again working quickly. Tormolin hands the ball off. A counter play this time as Tyler Carter gets the ball. He'll pick up 5 yards now. Brush faced with a 2nd and 5. Ball spotted at the far hash at the Fort Morgan 11-yard line. The Fort Morgan student section standing, but not really cheering. Not much to cheer about right now for Fort Morgan. Tormolin breaks. He'll snap the ball, turn, and fire a pitch to Garcia, who's met hard. And he'll be close to another first down for Brush. Efficient running football for Brush on this drive. Picking up chunks of yards every carry. He'll be just shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 1 from the Fort Morgan 6. Fort Morgan breaks the huddle. Again, Vince Aldo very wide, tight to the sideline here on the near side. Tormolin turns, hands the football off, and nothing there for Brush. As Chris Lee gets the football, but he's not able to get any yards. Now another 4th down. If you'll remember, on the last scoring drive for Brush, they faced a 4th and 8, and they were able to put it into the end zone on a pass play. Fort Morgan will likely look for that as they change out some of their big linemen here and go for a little bit more of a... Well, we'll have a whistle and an official's timeout. Looks like a Fort Morgan player there having some equipment problems. I think he's lost his shoe there, Kevin.
Maybe he just needs a little breather, and that would get it for him.
That's a smart play there. Tormolin under center. He turns and hands the ball off to Weiser. Weiser big, and he will make it into the end zone off of the left tackle. Another big run as Weiser scores from 6 out.
That's Weiser's 2nd touchdown of the game. That was a nice run.
That'll push the Brush lead to 27-6 with 3:53 here remaining in the first half. Brush on to attempt the PAT. Garcia will hold. Jesus Cardenas. A bad snap again. Garcia has to break. He's looking to throw in the end zone, and he'll be brought down hard there by Jared Bohm. The conversion is no good. That will keep the score at 27-6 in favor of Brush. 3:53 remaining here in the first half. You're listening to Fort Morgan football here on B106 and B106.com. Back here in Legion Field as Brush leads 27-6. Here's a high end-over-end kick for Brush. Bobbled by Fort Morgan there, but now he's got room. Lots of running room here for Fort Morgan. He's to the 40, to the 35, being chased down to the 20, and he's brought down at the 15-yard line.
That was some excellent individual effort there.
A great play by Caleb Sills, the 5'7 senior. Initially bobbles the football, but that little bobble gave him enough time to look up and see where the Fort Morgan kickoff coverage was. A great play, and this will put Fort Morgan with their best starting field position by far of the night. They'll take over the football on offense from the 14-yard line of Brush.
That was some good individual effort there. Ran out of a little gas, and the Brush kid worked hard to catch up from behind.
Martins under center, turns, hands the ball off to Fitzsimmons. Fitzsimmons off the right side, bounces out. Second effort. Only able to grab about a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9 from the Brush 13. The clock, a little bit of a factor here. 3:15 and counting. Fort Morgan can still get a first down and stop the clock with that without scoring a touchdown. Fort Morgan with 2 timeouts still in their pocket. Martin's under center. He'll botch the snap. He's not able to get it, and we'll see if he was able to come up with this football. The official does indicate that it is Fort Morgan's football. Not a clean exchange there between Martins and Connor Gherkin.
You get a little momentum, and then a bad snap just takes it all away from you.
It definitely does, and now it is 3rd and 9. Martins again under center. The power I formation. He'll turn and hand the ball off to Fitzsimmons. And a gang of tacklers there for Brush as Fitzsimmons and a late flag. 2 of them come out.
Getting a little extracurricular activity after the whistle in the backfield.
You think these 2 teams know each other, and they might have a little bit of disdain for each other as well.
These kids have been playing baseball, football, wrestling against each other since they were probably 4 or 5 years old.
The common denominator between the 2 schools are they both share the color maroon in their colors. As the student section getting into this one a little bit, trying to cheer their team on. Another lengthy delay. We'll see what the official has. Personal foul against Fort Morgan. So the momentum of the great kickoff return taken away as this drive is stalled and now moving backwards.
Now we got 3rd and forever with 2 minutes left in the half.
And Harrison Chisholm takes a timeout to talk this over with his offense. 2:17 on the field. This timeout is brought to you by Edwards Right Price Market and Flowerland, located at 1201 East Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. Stop by and get what you need to refuel on game days. We'll take a timeout as well here on B106 and B106.com. Back inside Legion Field here. 2:17 on the clock in the first half. Fort Morgan with the football. 4th down in a country mile. I think it's 3rd down. Martins will take the snap. He'll keep it himself. The stick indicating that it's 4th down.
I think that penalty was a dead ball play after the whistle, so the play had expired.
The play did count. Okay. So Fort Morgan will turn the ball over on downs.
We'll see how Brush's hurry-up offense works with 2 minutes left and 80 yards to go.
First and 10 from their own 20. Brush with the football. Tormolen under center. Takes the football, hands off to Weiser, who runs off the right side. Check that. Chris Lee with the carry. He'll gain 1. He'll face a 2nd and 9.
Just Lee's second carry. They're definitely going with the workhorse Weiser. He's had 10 carries so far in the first half.
Weiser really being effective getting the ball into the end zone. Tormolen breaks the huddle. He's got Aldo wide right. Garcia off to the right as well. Flag comes out. Tormolen loads up looking for Garcia down the field, but he overthrows him. That'll go for an incomplete pass. We'll see what this flag is here back at the line of scrimmage. Came out right when the ball was snapped. Harrison Chisholm for Fort Morgan signaling that he wants to decline the penalty, indicating that it'll probably be on Brush. An illegal shift on Brush. More than likely an illegal formation as Eric Garcia was wide in a tight end spot, but he didn't have the tackle covered.
I'm sure the Brush coaches are taking notes of all the small mistakes they're making, because next week against Faith Christian, they're going to have to play perfect.
And in all honesty, they need to play perfect if they want to get back to the championship game like they did a year ago. Tormolen under center. It's 2nd and 14. Ball in the middle of the field. He'll turn and hand the ball to Weiser. Weiser dances inside. Will pick up only a couple yards.
Looks like maybe they're going to let the clock go rather than risk a turnover at this juncture.
Under a minute. 50 seconds to be exact. 3rd and 11 now. Ball placed at the far hash for Brush. Brush probably will be content to just run the ball here and let the clock run out as well. Tormolen under center. Receives the ball. Has it back. He'll look to pass. Oh, and he overthrows his man. A great individual play there by the Fort Morgan. Really no shot for any receiver as Tormolen was targeting Garcia. No shot for him to get that, but the closest person there, a Fort Morgan defender. And now we'll see Brush punt here on a 4th and 10. Important with that incompletion, the clock stops.
So now that does give Fort Morgan at least one shot.
26.1 seconds remain on the clock, and we'll see a timeout called by Brush. We'll keep it here.
Both teams going towards the sideline to talk to the coaches.
Let's both receive these last-minute instructions. A crucial time here as Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. You want to maintain where you're at right now. If you're Brush, you want to score some easy points, if you will, if you're Fort Morgan, and grab some of that momentum back that you've lost. A touchdown here would be huge for Fort Morgan going into the locker room at halftime and getting them back in this game.
I imagine Coach Streitz is telling his punter, maybe aim it for the sideline, get it as far as you can, and make sure that we can hold them on defense. This will be the first punt for Brush for the night.
It will be the first punt, not the first fourth down that they've faced. But the first punt that they will have. Fitzsimmons deep for Fort Morgan. He's protected there by Ulysses Hernandez, who's about 20 yards in front of him just in case the punt goes a little short. And it looks like, again, we'll have Garcia under center, so we're not going to see a punt.
Brush is kind of famous for their shifting into a punt formation to try and get the other team to jump off sides.
No, Garcia will take it. It looks like there's another flag. Garcia with room to run on the near sideline. He'll just run the ball out of bounds. We'll see what this flag is. Garcia might have had enough there for a first down.
I think he's a couple yards short.
He is short, you're right. He is short, but if he would have taken that ball and turned upfield, he probably had enough room. He just elected to run to the sideline and run some time off the clock. Illegal motion by the Diggers. That penalty will be declined, and the Fort Morgan with a great opportunity here. 20 seconds left in the half, and they'll take over at the Brush 25.
I guess Coach Streitz is willing to bet on his defense.
And why wouldn't he? So far, Fort Morgan really not getting anything in terms of points on the board. They've been able to move the ball effectively, but points have been an issue. Martin's under center. Spread out, 4 wide receivers, 3 to his right, 1 to his left. Martins looks to throw. He's got a man wide open in Fitzsimmons. He drops the football. Incomplete pass. Oh, boy. I think Fitzsimmons' eyes got a little big for the end zone there as he realized he was wide open when that ball came to him. The first real spread formation we've seen out of Fort Morgan in this game.
Yeah, if he could have held on to that one and made one move, we'd be at possibly 13-27 at half.
Martins again under center. Following the incompletion, he'll pass again. He'll step up in the pocket, looks deep for the end zone. He's got a man. Oh, what a great play by Eric Garcia to break up that play in the end zone. Fitzsimmons again the target of Martins, but Garcia equal to the task as he jumps up and knocks the ball away.
We have a hold against Fort Morgan in the backfield.
I'm sure Brush will elect to accept that penalty and make it the distance between Fort Morgan and the end zone that much greater. 8.6 left on the clock here in the half. 27-6 is the lead for Brush. The crowd trying to get the Mustangs back into this game. This will most likely be the last play of the half. Again, the spread formation, 1 man to Martin's left, 3 to his right. Martins drops back to pass. Looking left, now scrambles to the left, and he is wrapped up and sacked. And that will run out the clock there on the first half. Well, the first half in the books, it's been all Brush all so far. Brush leads 27-6. You're listening to Mustang Football here on B106 and B106.com.